Hi, everybody. My name's Robin Walsh. I'm with the Bart Ehrman team. I'm a scholar of New Testament and early Christianity, and I'm making this video to talk about a subject that has been coming up over on the Biblical Studies Academy, the BSA, which is how did Paul, Peter, and James communicate if Paul is speaking Greek and Peter and James are presumably speaking Aramaic? So we've been debating this over there on the various discussion forums. And I actually did one of those like phone a friend. And I phoned like I think three other New Testament scholars because I had always assumed that there were probably translators there. And there's nothing in the text really that confirmed this for me, although you can tell that there are a number of people involved in something like what we call the Jerusalem Council. And because Paul in his letters often refers to people who are assisting him in his letter writing, some of you may know that in one of his letters he talks about, look at what large letters I make. And that's because it seems that at some point he actually starts to write one of his letters in his own hand when before he was using some other kind of labor. Now, there is a terrific scholar named Candida Moss who has written a recent book called God's Ghostwriters. And she points out that there were often people who were enslaved who were tasked with helping people like Paul, someone like Paul who probably had a sponsor or had other people around him who would have actually taken dictation from him and written his letters. And you could also have those kinds of people around to essentially assist people in positions of power with things like reading and translation. Canada, in addition, Dr. Moss, in addition to having that book, has written an article about Paul. So do look her up and check that out. I think that she's really revolutionized the field with some of these insights. She's not one of the scholars I talked to about this, in part because I'm so convinced by her work. I can't speak for her, but I'm pretty sure that something like that would make a lot of sense given the social model she's presented us. But the other three New Testament scholars I spoke to also assumed either there was some kind of assistant there to help them communicate with one another. It also may be the case that in the kind of, let's call it multicultural and multilingual society that was the ancient Mediterranean world, someone like Paul from the eastern part of the Mediterranean may have had enough facility with some of the local dialects or languages. And similarly for Peter and James at that stage, maybe they had just enough Greek that sort of like when you go on vacation, you might be able to basically travel if you have kind of a rudimentary knowledge of another language. But my guess is that there was somebody there to translate. If you'd like to debate some of these issues, if you have some knowledge about this that you'd like to bring to bear, please feel free to go over to bartehrman.com/BSA learning. That's BARTEHRMAN.com/BSA learning. BSA stands for Biblical Studies Academy. You can have a 14-day free trial and join to both participate in the kind of conversations that I've just described on our different discussion forums, but there are also several courses there from leading experts in the field of New Testament studies, early Christianity, and biblical studies who present kind of a historical view of this information, but also delve into these really difficult issues. So whether you're a newbie or a seasoned veteran or expert, I think that there's something for everybody over there in that forum. So please check it out. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say about this subject. Thanks.